It's a swing wing, a fun thing, and everybody's gotta have one thing. It's a swing wing, a wing thing, a brand new grand fun thing. It's a swing wing, a new thing. It's a swing wing.
Get Swing Wing, made by Transagram, where the fun comes from. It's a Swing Wing.
It's a what?
Dangerfield, Dangerfield.
All right, there's a party coming up in a few days. I might be peeking. Hang on. There's a party coming up in a few days because I'm going to almost simultaneously hit 500 videos and 15,000 subscribers, which is incredible for me. I mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, I'm aware of that, but 15,000 people have at some point watched one of my videos and gone, oh, I'll have some more of that, which is shocking. So that's exciting. I'm going to do a live stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, so keep an eye out for that. It'll be a good laugh. I'll be telling some stories, answering some questions, begging for money throughout as well, so prepare yourself for that. Lot of heavy going videos lately, so I thought it's story time, and I've called this one did you notice I haven't come up with a name? I think I'm still peeking. I've called this one, I'm going to call it The Score. It's a bit weak, but it's only a title. So one of the things that happens in the Junky game is you never introduce people to dealers. That's your bread and butter. As a long-time junkie, having the numbers, having the in, having got a meet, that's what will allow you to get regular gear when you've burned every single bridge. I've told you this before. You're living in a flat, you've got a bowl of Weetabix, a black and white telly, nothing else. Even sometimes floorboards missing where you burnt them. There's nothing there. You've got the joggers that you always wear and your coat. That's it. No one's going to lend you any money anymore. That's after year 1. When you're like on year 10, you have to protect your income. So that means protecting your dealers. You never introduce anyone to them. They have to go through you. And it's cuntish, but it's essential. You know, it's fucking hand to vein existence. So when someone rings you up because they haven't got any dealers, they're like, hey, can you get us a couple of bags? And you're just like, yeah. And then you just wait for him to go, I'll get you one. You're like, yeah, of course, yeah, oh, yeah, no problem. Superb. And when you've been doing it enough, like in periods of my life I had, especially in that street junkie world before the darknet and all that, you know, you can wake up in the morning sick as a dog and just wait for the phone to ring, and it might ring 4 or 5 times a day, people wanting to get bits for them. And also, there's a ratio thing going on. If someone wants free and free, if someone wants free heroin and free crack, you're not going to take a bag. You know, they're not going to go, oh, can you get us free and free? You're like, yeah. And if they go, I'll get you one, you're like, what, one of each? Yeah, it's hideous, really. Hideous. Selfish, but essential. So it was one of those days. I used to call it magic money, you know, when your dole's spent, all the blags are out, it's all gone wrong, and you've got nothing, and you know you're going to wake up with nothing. You think, I need magic money to arrive. I need the phone to ring, and you'll be just sitting there going, no electricity, it's dark, it's cold, can't even watch telly, nothing to eat, couldn't hold anything down anyway. Wicked. Look at the number. Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah, all right. Bloke I used to know called Keith. Dead now. Weird bloke, Keith. I was never sure how clever he was. And he was always a bit... Sometimes I thought, is this man a genius? Or is he just dumb as fuck? Or does he, you know, oscillate between the two? And I never got to pin it down. Never got to pin him down with that. And he was introduced by someone else. And he was quite a soft lad. Not like a soft lad. But he was like... didn't grow up around scum, kind of middle class, nice, well-to-do family, and he didn't have the connections. Like, he lived in North London, and when he talked to me online or something, he'd be like, yeah, I've just found a new dealer in Liverpool. What? Got a 3-hour train journey. Oh, good. Well done. You want your dealer to be like 20 minutes away max. And so he was magic money on the regular, and he was always having family members die, coming into loads of money and just spunking the lot on drugs, and bless him, other people's drugs as well, because he wanted the company, wanted the friendship. He didn't want to sit at home on his own. But so he's rung me up one morning. He went, yeah. He went, I got a bit of money. He went, I got 130 quid, and I was like touched. No. Because already I'm thinking, right, I'll spin him on the prices. Oh no, these are £15 bags. They're not the 10 bags. No, these are 15. You get 2 for 30. No, they're wicked. Oh, it's better than buying 3 10s. I'm doing all the maths. But yeah, you're going to get me 2, yeah? Well, 3 really on 130. Yeah. And I'm thinking, right, this is superb. I'm getting about 5-6 bags out of this. Come down and we'll spin over to Abbey Wood, Thamesmead. So he's had to drive from North London, so that's taken him an hour and a half, all around the M25, probably longer. Got to mine, parked his car in my area, and we've jumped on the train. You'll have to pay my train fare, mate. Buy us a can of beer. Get us a tenant super. Thanks. And then we get out there, we get to Abbey Wood, and I'm thinking about these 6 bags I'm getting. I'm thinking I'll have 4 dark, and I'll have a couple of rocks as well. Oh, today's going to be lovely. And I'm thinking there'll be some more magic money lately. This is a lovely substructure, a base to build my day on. And that's all my day was about in those days. That's all it was. Scoring, using, falling asleep, wake up, scoring, using. That's it. That's all you do. Bit of food occasionally if it's sweet enough. Want a donut, John? Anyway, so we get over there. Now, because I'm considering my 6 bags, I start getting greedy because it's a lot. And I think, 130 quid. I can probably get a weight with that. I can probably pick up an 8th somewhere. I don't need to be fucking around with bags. I know I'll rob him of all his money. This really nice bloke, always kind to me, never hassle. I'll take all his money. Doesn't feel good saying that. We ended up pretty good mates, actually. We recorded some music together. Anyway, you'll hear all about that. But I'm just going to take the lot. Just tell him I got nicked. That's the classic. Oh, I got pulled up by the old bill. I didn't want to involve you. I didn't want to get you in trouble going around your mother's house and all that. In many ways, I was looking after you. So I get my phone out and I go, I'll make a call. And I'm not going to. So I'll press a few nothings and I go, all right, yeah, no, I've got 130. Have you got any of those 50? It's so weak. It's so rubbish. But he's 100% he will not call me. 100% he won't go, hang on a minute, you're lying to me. Because he doesn't want to upset me. Last thing he wants to do is risk upsetting me and have me rob him, which I'm going to do anyway. Last thing he wants to do is piss me off. It's a power situation. It's awful. So he's not going to go, hang on, I think you're buying 3 £10 bags for 30 and you're just telling me that, all this. And I went, yeah, have you got those 15 bags? All right, then I'll have, I can't even work the maths out now, but so many crack and so many smack. Yeah. All right. And this is key. All right. No, of course I'll come on my own. Yeah, no, I know how it works. Get off the phone. I go to him, right, it's on. We're going to be all right. About 20 minutes because he's sick. And that's nice of me, innit? Rob him when he's sick as a dog. He weren't that sick, actually, but he weren't... He was in need. And I said, right, listen, I said, these are travellers. If they see you sniffing about, they'll kick the shit out of me. They'll come and get you. They'll hang you up in a tree and they'll break your arms so you can't get down. I didn't make that up either. That's something that happened. I used to use it all the time. It's terrifying, isn't it? Imagine that, strung up by your feet and your arms broken. Just die. Why don't they just kill you, vicious bastards? And so I said, so listen, I've got to go over there, just behind that block of flats there. So wait here, all right? So I sort of stroll over there. And to my absolute lack of credit and compassion, I'm just buzzing. I'm thinking I'm 130 up. What a day. What a start. You know, I told you before, a friend of mine said addiction is, especially heroin addiction, it's characterised by lowering of standards. You know, I'd never have done that to someone during my teenage years, during my early 20s, but a few years of addiction under your fucking belt, that's standard behaviour. You do that to anyone. Do it to your mother. And, that hurt a bit, be honest with you. Anyway, as I've walked over, I got behind this, got where I was saying, and just carried on walking. Got a bit of a pace on. Just thought, right, and now I'm scoping it out, thinking, right, where will he? I don't want him to come round here and see me. I don't want him to come round after 10 minutes and see me walking over there. So I'm zigzagging all around the estate, proper trying to lose him. In my head, it had been about an hour, probably been about a minute, and then got on my phone and rang a real dealer. Yeah, can you sort out a 16th of smack and a 16th of white? Yeah, lovely. Yeah. No, I've got 130. Yeah, lovely. Good. All good, lovely. I'm thinking, oh, these days are ours, the happy days. And so I then go and meet him. And I go there, and he turns up in his little motor. Interesting bloke, actually, traveller. Gets me in his car. Doesn't drive anywhere though. Just spits these 2 lumps out of his mouth. Puts them in my lap. I give him the money. Get out of the car. And I'm thinking, good. Turn my phone off so that old Keith can't ring me. And as I'm walking down the road, I see these 2 blokes. Seth, one of them, a little shit. You know, what I've just told you about what I'm doing is low. It's low to rob junkies. Seth was the lowest of the low. These people are vultures. That's what they're called. They hang around dealing areas watching people who score. And then they mug them. They steal it off them. And as I'm saying this, describing him as the lowest of the low. Oh, he's the lowest of the low for robbing a junkie. What have I just done? And I'm still believing that even at the time, I'm thinking he's lower than me. 100%. I mean, I haven't threatened anyone. It hasn't been violent. I've just strolled off. I've been more of like a gentleman thief. You know? No, I'm not like these people. And I'd see him and I'd think, you know, and I'm not too well as well. I'm not rattling, but this is the first score of the day and I'm not strong. You know, I weren't strong anyway. The stuff drains you, all that crack. And you can imagine, you're not a fit person. And I've seen him and he's with this black fella. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. I just thought, for fuck's sake. And I thought, I ain't giving him to it. They are not having it. And the little cunt, he's grabbed my coat here. Grabbed me here. Twisted it. He went, we're having some of that. Come on, where are we going? And I just went, you ain't having any. And I could feel my heart. I was shitting myself. It was going as best it could. It was probably more like... And he went, your arse beating a bit. And I just thought, you fuck. And I said to him, yeah, that'll happen in this sort of situation. And I could hear my voice crack. I was terrified. I sort of went, yeah, that'll happen in this sort of situation. So gay. Not a fighter. And then I thought, as I say, not a fighter, I thought, it's going to either be a right kind of hook cross, but he was short. So it had been like a weird hook cross down, literally punching down. And I had to knock him out because the other geezer standing a few metres away, although admittedly looked a little bit not into it. He wasn't like with him going, where's the fucking drugs? He was a bit sort of standoffish. But little cunt Seth has got me by the coat and your heart's beating a bit. And so I've got this idea of this sort of right hook, cross, down. No, I'll probably just tap him on the nose. Oh, you stupid boy. Oh, you get off my coat. I'll take my drugs myself. But then I'm thinking, this hand, I have got the opportunity, if I can time it right and get it right, I can uppercut him with the elbow. And you haven't got to be hard to do that. Even a gentle knock is going to do him. And then I'll just sort of junky, sort of Mr. Soft sprint away. More utter campness. Go to the other one. Oh, chase me. Oh, I like it when you do it. But it's terrifying. And I'm thinking, do it. Just give him this fucking elbow. Knock the little cunt out. And then go to the other, like, well, you want some? What, you fuck off or I'll take, in my head, I'm dreaming that this is going to be like a movie where I'm the best, hardest man. And just as I'm thinking, maybe cut a deal with them, maybe if I get out 2/16, I'm going down, they'll just have them. Ideally I should have had a couple of bags on me and it would have just been cut, give them a little bit of each of them. If I get them out, they're going to want half each at least. And just as I'm considering this elbow into his face, smashing at the side of the alleyway wall. Oh, Keith, who I am robbing blind, has just from nowhere, like Superman, shot across my field of vision. I mean, he looked like a copper. He had black shoes on, black nylon trousers and a white shirt. And he's just smashed Seth out of the way, cracked him against the wall. He's just done the shoulder barge at full, just out of the blue. Seth's on the floor. He's just dying. And I was like... And then he's turned to this other geezer, this black geezer, and bless him, he's not a fighter. He's not from that environment. So he doesn't know. You fucking want some. He hasn't got that in him. But it's really loud. Not really that aggressive. But he's like, you've got to go away too now or I'm going to knock you over. This is my drugs now. Just get out of here. Worked though. Miraculously it worked. Go on, go away, you nincompoop. You blockhead. And the other geezer just drifted off, ghosted off into the junky ether. Seth's on the floor. Keith's giving him another kick in the gut. And just like, yes. I went, come on, let's go. And I'm just flying with adrenaline. I'll be honest with you, happy to see Seth on the ground dying. Good. That's what I felt. That's the truth. Good, you little shit. It's what you deserve. It's not what I deserve for doing the same thing. It's what you deserve. And as this sort of mad rush of adrenaline, I'm thinking, I've done it. Still got the drugs. Me and Keith. And then I'm thinking, how am I going to explain this one? I fuck knows how he even knew where we were. This is just absurd. Not a mention, not a word. So I've said, well, look, should we go back to mine and chip into this then? I'm feeling a bit strung out. And he went, yeah. Got on the train. And as we were on the train, he was talking to me. And his father died when he was quite young, as did mine. And we were talking about all that. And he was talking about how he deals with emotions and how he's just knowingly been medicating himself for years. And I took a shine to him like I'd never had before, actually, which didn't help with the incredible amount of guilt I was feeling over what just happened. Not Seth going down, but me just outright robbing the poor bastard. Attempted robbery. And so we get back to mine, grotty little bedsit, and we get it out and we're hammering up this white, we're slamming speedballs, holding on for dear life. And I thought, I've got to tell him. I thought, I've got to do the right thing here. we had such a nice, well, I say nice. When you shoot a speedball, which is crack and heroin mixed together, you're being pulled in both extreme directions. The ultimate sedative and the ultimate stimulant. Crack was invented. Look, cocaine was invented for injection. It was never made to put up your nose. It was invented for intravenous injection. But they realised that this weren't catching on. Even in the Victorian era, very few people willing to stick a needle in their vein for a high. So they fucked around with it, mixed it with a hydrochloride salt, and made it sniffable. And suddenly, Bob's your uncle. Everyone's doing it. But crack is where they've cracked, which is chemistry slang for separating an oil base from a salt. You crack the oil, the hydrochloride salt out of it, and now you can smoke it. So to inject that, it's all getting a bit confusing and really heavy on the body. So we're just having this intense few hours shooting speedballs, and I feel we're like best mates. As we start coming down from the crack, and that's when you really just get into the brown, and he's got some Valium out, and I'm just having this pang of guilt, and more than a pang, endless rushes of guilt, and I'm thinking, tell him you were going to rob him. I can't believe he hasn't asked what happened, why I was there. But he hadn't, and that kind of made it worse, and it kind of was part of that thing I was saying about never knowing if he was really intelligent or really stupid. I was thinking, at the end of the day, is he going to come over and just cut my throat, or is he involved somehow? I couldn't work out why at no point he hadn't said to me, why did you fuck off and try and rob me, or whether he just knew there was no point. And so I went for it because I wanted to be better than I was. I was feeling so shitty about it. He was all right. He didn't deserve any of that. And I went to him because we obviously talked about what happened and that, and had a little laugh about it. And I said to him, listen, those blokes who are robbing me? And he was like, yeah. I went, well, the only reason I was that far away from you was because I was robbing you. And it was a bit sort of like that, because I was robbing you. And he was like this, and he went, turned out all right though, didn't it? Which I thought was a stroke of genius. I mean, it was somewhat overdetermined by the fact that I'd now confessed, and it would appear was off the hook. Absolution, forgiveness. Turned out all right, didn't it? And again, my respect for him went through the roof. I thought, he hasn't looked at a chain of events. He's not stuck in a resentful past. He's judging what happened based on where he is now. Again, that stroke of genius. Why the resentment? Why ruin a lovely evening? And I just was thinking, what an approach to life. Someone to learn from. And yeah, like I say, I got to confess my sins. And after a few more hours, he fucked off, left me with a very generous bit. I didn't want any more crack. I was feeling a bit strung out. But he left me with a couple of bags worth, brown, and he went. And I thought about it a lot. Thought about that approach to life and who he was and what he'd been through and who I was and what I was doing there and everything about it. And that stuck with me. That turned out all right. Then a few days later, I got a phone call from a mutual friend. And he said to me, listen, at the end of the call, we were talking about other stuff, drugs, obviously, because we had fuck all else in our lives. At the end of the call, he said, listen, if Keith rings you up, don't go scoring for him. I went, come on, he's all right. I said, in fact, he's gone up so high in my estimations. He went, well, no, he got hold of £5,000 worth of fake £20 notes and fake tens about a month ago. And he's been getting people to score for him, and they've been getting in a lot of trouble. And it was like, bam, 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 as I pictured everything that happened. And I pictured myself sitting in that front seat of that traveller's car, handing over fake money. If he had called it, I wouldn't be here to tell you this story. It would have been me hanging up with my arms broken. And it was like, but... And again, I thought, he's a genius. The man's a genius. And I worked out how he knew where I was. Because he's not an idiot. Because he's not an idiot. He was a very clever man. He knew from the start I was going to rob him. I'd robbed him before for small amounts. But he knew if he put 130 quid in my hand and I went, oh, I've just got to go round the corner, he was never going to see me again. He knew it. So he just followed me. He followed me. That's how comes he saw Seth trying to rob me. He was there. He was looking. And he chose his moment and thought, fuck, this weren't part of the plan. I'm going to have to go and shoulder barge him. And you run along now, you dipstick. The incredible web of deceit, lies, power struggles and insanity encapsulated in that one afternoon. And Junkies junk for decades. And if you were to sit with me long enough, I can pour those stories out to you one after the other. Because that's the day-to-day grind of being a smackhead. It's not great.
Thanks for watching.